Back so soon? Oh no, what happened?
A little incident at the dog park. We gotta head to the vet.
Oh, not again. These bills.
We can use CashNet USA. We can apply in minutes, get a fast decision, and have the money in the account as soon as the same business day. All right, Cheddar, back in the car.
When you need money fast, be the hero. All loans subject to lender approval. Speed of funding is subject to verifications and your bank's processing times. See CashNetUSA.com for more details.
Dreaming of a modern oasis? All Modern has you covered with the best of modern furniture and decor, all in one place, and all hand-vetted by our design experts. Whether you're on the hunt for a new outdoor dining set or a versatile sofa, our premium quality designs bring form and function to any space, and they're available in every style of modern. For real. Every single style. Oh, and did we mention it's all delivered for free in days, not weeks? That's modern made simple. Shop now at allmodern.com.
Hello, my saucy, pert, and greasy friends. You are listening to a recording from our weekly live stream, which is on twitch.tv/LPNTV. This is just news of the week that we talk about, and it goes up to our feed after we record it. This is not a part of the LDS main season episodes, but please hang out and listen to us chatter along and then check out our regular episodes as well. Thank you. Enjoy.
Gonna
be afraid of everything. Everything's bad.
It's coming for you.
I am scared. I'm scared before we even have started to talk about anything. So this is good. This is good for me.
Well, I've done my job.
You've done your job. Well, I was the one that said that I saw on TikTok, because today's October 7th, and he said, Alexa, tell me about the earthquake in LA on October 8th. And Alexa was like, October 8th, there's a 7-point earthquake going through Malibu.
So we are now doing prophecies on Last Podcast.
I believe Alexa. I stand with Alexa.
And I think that is the problem with, religious prophecies. We should be doing more with tech companies. They're the ones who are doing the right prophecies.
You said you were going to support women's wrongs, and Alexa does wrong often.
Yeah, and I support her in all of it.
Yeah.
Do you think that TikTok was like him pre-recording the...
I am now on schizophrenic TikTok because I mistakenly liked a tweet from a man that said, no, I can't go work at that Goodwill because it's right by the park where they think I stretch out all the girls because I'm well endowed. And I thought he was a comedian, but he's not. He's just a man that his mother keeps in the basement. And I was like, what a funny guy. Like and subscribe. But it's just some weird guy.
No. I like that you thought that was legit.
I thought it was legit. But you guys would be very proud of me because the other day I saw a news article on TikTok and I said, wait a minute, I'm going to double check that. And it was wrong. Look at that.
And it was
I am genuinely proud of you. I appreciate that you thought about that.
Thank you.
I'm nervous.
You came with sources.
I'm nervous to be here.
Ariel.
I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Now, can I make sure I'm using the correct pronunciation? Just because I have multiple friends who are named Ariel and Ariel and Aria, different accented parts of it.
They're wrong. My name's Ariel.
Ariel.
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure I say it correctly because sometimes you don't say, I'll mispronounce one of my friends' names as the other Ariel, and then they secretly harbor, a bunch of contempt for me.
Wow.
And, yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us on the show. You are a co-host on the show Fraudsters, which is coming up soon.
That's me. Fraudsters. We're talking about the war on drugs. Woohoo.
Yeah.
So fun. So festive.
That you guys think the war on drugs was great, right?
No.
Oh.
It's bad.
Oh.
What are some of the drugs we're talking about? We're talking about weed?
We're talking about weed. We're talking about, it's kind of like everything that has to do with the war on drugs. So like how people get mass incarcerated, how there was a time where they still are, in Pennsylvania, they were arresting children at school for just being a little bit mischievous or having a little bit of weed, and it was just an epidemic of proportions that we have not seen since.
Well, yeah. It's obviously still a huge problem. you guys probably know LPN works with Last Prisoner Project a lot, his main goal is to release all of the imprisoned people who are in jail for weed while people are making a bunch of money off of selling it out here in the free world, which is just insane that that's still a problem.
Right. And didn't you say you were on Facebook Marketplace and somebody was like, who wants my bag of mushrooms?
It was just a bag of mushrooms on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm like, is that what they do here in LA? We're just having bags of mushrooms?
Was it a cop?
Was it titled Bag of Mushrooms?
It was probably a cop. And I'm going to try to buy weed.
Okay, I will say it's very easy to obtain mushrooms here. You don't need to go to Facebook Marketplace.
Says you. I'm trying to go to Facebook. It was a big bag.
Oh, okay, good deal.
Good deal.
I think it's a cop. I don't know. I'd be sus.
We're finding out today. I'm going to go right after this. So.
Okay, good.
We got a meeting.
Nice hanging out with you before you were arrested.
I know. Sorry. Bye, guys.
Oh, Uncle Sherry says, I keep getting mushrooms on my Facebook Marketplace too. It's weird. You guys don't fall for it. I think it's the police.
I wouldn't.
We're going to find out. I got to know. It's for science. I got to know. If it's real. Is it legit? Is it just a man? Is it mushrooms from their backyard? Are they dried? I couldn't tell.
Right. Is it just, they're like, yeah, it's mushrooms. I didn't say it was hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Yeah.
I said, here's a bag of mushrooms.
Shiitake people.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever been like a cop undercover and then also sold to an undercover cop and then it was like the Spider-Man meme with
like
you and me and you.
Me?
Yeah.
Probably.
Right? Probably.
I
I'm sure
guess.
It happened.
I would
Right
imagine. Final Angie 13. Love the new Fraudster season so far.
Thanks, Final Angie.
And you guys,
Appreciate you.
are you guys starting from the 70s, the 80s? Like what era are you guys?
We're just mixing and matching. We're going back. We're going to like the beginning of how it all happened. There's a guy named Harry Anslinger who came in and was like, I'm going to be racist in a insidious way and make it so that all of the black people can go to jail and make it so that it's because of drugs. So that's really,
that's cool.
Yeah, we're starting way back when.
Well, like 1920s, like cocaine with a Coca-Cola in it?
Yeah. We're going to see? Yeah. She's going way back. way back.
I know things historically acculately.
Yeah, I don't know the year, but I know that they were doing
Were they doing like this?
Yeah, they're that. A lot of that. A lot of
Okay.
a lot of Eartha Kitt sounds.
Oh, yeah,
I can't
let's
do them
not
right
get-
now, but just think about it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's very important. It's a really important topic. We talk about it to an extent on the show in different ways, but I feel like a lot of stuff's gone wrong in this country. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, we're here.
I feel like this
here.
experiment.
Are you
is-
running for president?
I am, just in time for the
should.
election, just so everybody knows. Can you imagine? I would jump off of a building before I could imagine.
Right. Everyone's going to dig up your past. They're going to scrutinize your looks. They're going to scrutinize like everything about you, everything you say. I would have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, I'm having one
Personally.
right now.
Yeah, just even thinking about it.
Just even thinking about it.
Yeah,
just being
no.
here and having one person be like, "I like fraudsters." I'm like, "What did I say on fraudsters?" Yeah, I can't. No.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun when all of your thoughts are recorded and then people can go through and like slow motion analyze every word that you've ever said. And
Right.
you just like frame it how they want to and then tell you like, no.
Right.
Yeah, getting into podcasting was probably a terrible idea for me.
Podcasting was probably a bad idea in general. We should maybe just all stop. But
Yeah. No, I'm gonna keep yapping, but it's not gonna be good.
nah.
Yeah.
So we're happy to have you here.
Thanks.
So exciting.
Tthanks. Happy to be
Fraudsters, guys.
Fraudsters. Oh, we talked about. Speaking of politics, have we seen the new JD Vance picture where he's a hunk and a half?
Oh, a new JD Vance pic is dropped.
Let's suck his cock, Mr.
Wait a
Worldwide.
second.
Oh, wow.
Wait. This was posted
Chiseled.
by a politic. Like, is this, okay, my mind just shut down. Is this meant to be mocking him?
No, this is
No.
a Republican Georgia guy who was like, "Good morning." Like he posted an AI picture. AI? No, wait a minute, it's real. He really shedded it down, mewed.
Wait, so
He's a mewer.
Pull it back up.
Yeah, can you put that back up?
That guy fucks.
Yeah, this guy fucks. This guy's got a 7-inch cock. He taps.
This guy.
Wow, he's chiseled.
He's chiseled. He looks like he'd be in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That's not. Can we have a side by side of the real one?
No, that's the real one. That's the real one.
No, you're right. That's not the. That's the real one. That's the real one. To me now, yes.
But I think, like, I bringing this up because I think there's a reason why, hey, look how you want. I'm not to judge. I don't want to body shame or face shame, but I think a lot of people, especially on the more right side, it's weird that they don't like gender affirming care, yet they can do it. And it's also weird.
Well, they don't think of it as gender affirming care when they do it. That's not the same.
Because they're doing it, because I'm doing it.
Yes, exactly.
And also, I think a lot of them sort of have a certain look because it's been yassified. If you're just constantly looking at like memes of Donald Trump with a bald eagle on his shoulder, that's him.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
Wait, is that also a doctored photo, or is that an
No,
undoctored
that's him,
photo?
baby.
That's him.
And he's taught to someone, right?
He's an undoctored king.
Somebody. That's closer, yeah.
Well, okay, so the beard is the thing that shaped his face more, right?
Yeah. Oh, buddy.
Well, yeah.
I don't care that his brows could serve. I think he could work inside of what he's got, but it's when why are you then? Okay, wait. Okay, I have to ask this about this tweet, whatever you call it. Who's the man who actually tweeted it? Does anybody know?
That's a
Mike Collins, what his name was?
I'm not familiar with Mike Collins.
Me neither.
Representative Mike Collins from the Georgia Republican.
He's
But
Georgia.
if he's old, he probably can't tell the difference.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
They're looking at all these yassified pictures of people. So
And if he's never met him in real life, he's like, that's probably what it looks like.
yeah, and that's what they're all doing to their faces.
Why is he posting a picture of J.D. Vance?
Because he wants to suck.
Because he's hot.
They go to
Hot
Bohemian
JD
Grove and they
Vance.
touch dick tips. That's
It does
why.
feel a little bit like that was meant to be a text to somebody to be like good morning, look how fine he is.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it?
That was the energy I got. And
What was the point of him doing that?
to turn us on. And I'm
turn you on.
sufficiently
Right,
turned on. Good morning.
Good morning. We have some other pictures. I think I send another one of. Oh look, yeah. They all yassify themselves.
Yeah. Well, this is him with work done.
Yeah.
He's
That's
gotten
brow lift.
He has gotten a ton.
Okay.
We're not anti-Botox over here, but he's gotten a lot of forehead Botox, too much.
And maybe even hit up Turkey for a little hairline action.
That is,
Yes.
yeah.
Might have done that.
And again, hey, do what you want. It's just
It's Matt Gaetz, right?
It's Matt Gaetz. I think because everybody's just looking at doctored photos of everything, that's what they want to do to their own faces. Which, if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm just saying, hey, look at this.
Also-
look at this.
I'm saying it's not
Look
fun.
at this.
Oh, not that guy. Oh, God.
Oh, brother.
Oh,
This guy
brother.
stinks. Well, there he is. I mean, if you're that filthy rich, you better get your fucking work done.
Sure.
You better fix your hairline and you better chisel the jaw out.
I mean, absolutely, no judgment. But I think you're
No,
correct.
I'm judging.
No,
I know
you're-
they
yeah,
keep
you're
saying
right.
no judgment. I'm judging. I'm here to judge.
Let's always judge Elon for literally
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
that he does.
I think if you're
hate him.
scrolling on social media all day and everything has been doctored and photoshopped, then you should, because I've done this where I'll look at Instagram reels and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm not a size 2. My skin has spatches on it. I'm the worst. And then I forget that, filters are a thing. Plastic surgeries are a thing. And this is kind of a big problem I see in that party. Because
you just yassify yourself.
they've all
Feeling
yassified
bad.
themselves.
Also,
They've
you have
become mean.
flawless skin. What are you talking
Yeah, you're
about?
gorgeous.
What?
You're gorgeous, but whatever you feel bad, just use whatever AI filter he used.
I know exactly.
And then you'll be like,
constantly.
I'm just as
be
hot
behind
as
a
JD
screen.
Vance.
Don't see people in real life ever, and
Yeah.
then you can look however you want.
Exactly.
That's what I
but
do.
I think that you're correct, though, in pointing out the hypocrisy of that, because what they're doing is gender affirming care when they're trying to make themselves look more masculine or more all-American bullshit patriotic nonsense.
Who is that guy that his wife left him? Steven something, and he got.
So many Stevens
That's
wives
the
leave.
goal.
He got bigger shoulders and chest as a surgery instead of just naturally working out.
I like that.
That was a news story.
I like that.
about a year
If
ago.
you have the money to do that,
Sure.
fuck it. Be a cartoon.
But
he's
also
also
don't
super
then
negative
try
against
to
gender affirming care.
Yeah, that's the thing. Don't be negative, and don't try to block other people from being their authentic selves.
Word.
Right?
I'm with that, yeah.
It doesn't seem like that's whatever. I know that they do it because they got all kinds of worms in their brain, but
Right, Crowder. That's his name.
oh, Steven Crowder.
Right.
I don't know
Louder
who that
with
is.
Crowder.
I don't know who that is.
This guy. Yeah. See, he got
I don't know any of these
Fake
people.
shoulders
And I love
and-
that for me.
I love that for you so much.
Yeah, I'm living in a world of moodang right now, and I don't ever want to stop.
Especially because this guy called himself a comedian, and he is
What does he do? What is his
He
thing?
just goes and
He does
trolls
edgelord
college
stuff.
campuses. He like puts on a
Yeah.
dress and says, "I'm a woman," like in a very mocking style, and like
Oh,
tries to
no.
get into women's bathrooms. And I'm like, dude, if you want to be like if you want to be a woman and like get the care you need, like do
But he
it.
does. I mean, maybe whatever the case is, he's battling some kind of inner demon
Yeah,
in
I don't
there,
like that.
because he also was caught like screaming at his pregnant wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
It was so.
And he made his pregnant wife give their dog medication that pregnant women can't touch because it'll kill the baby. So you see her putting
well,
on
it's
gloves.
like at risk.
Yeah, at risk. And he's just smoking a cigar and like yelling at her. Please.
This man is a menace. I was better off not knowing him.
Yeah,
Let's
now
talk more
see,
about
we're
Mudang. She
gonna-
doesn't need any sort of work done. She's perfect. She's rotund. She's wet. She's moist. She
Wet
loves
to the
vegetables.
touch.
Wet to the touch. We love that about her.
Yeah, we love being dewy.
Yeah, she's dewy. She's got natural blush.
That is nice.
Right. I would say she's moisturized and unbothered, but
Yeah.
she's actually very bothered.
She's only bothered like an hour a day.
Yeah.
The rest of the time she's asleep, and that's how I'm trying to be.
I do think that's a great way to be.
There she
Oh,
Yeah, that's my girl.
girl.
Perfect in every way. An angel.
I also really like they keep putting videos out of her playing with people, which is like to like maul at them, but
Yeah.
because she's so small, she can't do any damage. But what she's doing, if she was full grown, would just like rip a
Yeah.
person in
Oh,
half.
once
And
she-
everybody's like, oh,
She's getting there. Once she rips a person in half, we're going to have to cancel her. But for now,
I know, it's
incredible.
gonna be
We love her.
sad.
Well, that's
So
why the
fresh.
handlers are touching her because they have to get her used to people. Because she's born in a zoo.
Yeah, but you still can't really be touching hippos in the zoo when they get bigger.
Yeah, she's gonna she's gonna fuck somebody up soon. But for now, adorable. We love that.
cute.
So cute. So cute. That was a good palate cleanser after the
Yeah, well,
nightmare men we had to look at.
unfortunately, there's just more sad
Oh,
things.
all right. Well, I tried, you guys. I really did.
I know, and I appreciate it. Real quick, I wanted to say here, you guys probably are aware, maybe you don't really know because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, but there's been some really... lost my earpiece. There we go. There have been some really devastating hurricanes in the South in the last couple weeks, and a lot of people are in a really bad spot. There's some more hurricanes coming, unfortunately, to Florida in the next couple days. Hurricane Milton, I believe, is the next one. And so something we've talked about on the show a bunch is human trafficking and the problems, the things to look out for with human trafficking and the ways that it happens. And we've talked about how natural disasters tend to be, I think we talked about a lot during, we talked about Katrina. I think that was when we were bringing it up a lot. But I just wanted to like quickly bring that up, that during this time period, there's a lot of people who are at extreme high risk for things like human trafficking. And it's not necessarily always the way that is just like somebody is on the street and gets picked up. Things happen where people need somewhere to stay. And as we talked about with Katrina, people were literally going to Craigslist and seeing somebody offering a room to stay into. And it can look like them getting assaulted. It can look like them being kind of tricked into sex work. It can look like disappearing, right? In different ways. And so I just wanted to highlight for anybody who might be at risk, or you think somebody you know might be at risk, if you want to cut over to my screen, this is the National Human Trafficking Hotline. You can go to this website, but they are obviously right now experiencing really high volumes of people in high-risk situations. So if you go to this site and scroll down, you can go to a referral directory, and these places that you can go to, like if I put in Los Angeles, they might not all be the ideal spots for you. For example, I try not to go to places that are, super religiously run, but in a situation like this, they have been at least vetted for safety in the moment. Like you can go there and not immediately be at risk, so that you might have a place to stay for you. You might be able to access food and things like that, so that you don't end up in the hands of somebody who wants to do something bad. So it's not a perfect circumstance, but I do think it's good that they have this search engine to just see what's local to you. and to be able to access that. And so, people in North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia are all really struggling right now. And so there's a myriad of ways you can donate and just, keep people in your thoughts or your vibes or whatever you want to call it. I know we have family who are in that area too, and a lot of us are watching that happen. It's really, really bad, guys.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about that as a thing that happens. But of course, sometimes it brings out the worst in people.
It does, because it brings out the best in people too. In a lot of circumstances, we know that people come together and really help. But unfortunately, yes, the other side of that, people who are deeply broken, will see a disaster and then want to just take advantage of it in every way they can. And it's a bummer. I don't like it, but that's why you're here today.
Damn.
To just be bummed out.
Yeah. It's happening.
But lots of good, positive people are there to help too. So that's why when you go to services like this, there are a lot of really good people who are genuinely just trying to make sure everybody's okay. And you don't need to seek out people on social media and stuff like that, because there's a lot of things that can go terribly wrong really quickly. And don't ever believe something that seems too good to be true, honestly, in that situation. If somebody's like, actually, I have this extra $100,000 I can give you. Let's go meet at this parking lot. They're probably not going to give you money, It's probably going to be worse.
No, but what about the $100,000? They said it though, Natalie.
Amber.
They said it. They said
Amber.
Don't lie.
No.
Amber.
Fact check that TikTok.
Yeah, you got to go check that out. I'm proud of you for doing that, though, and you went and looked.
It's kind of a bummer because the case was pretty fun too. I fucking wish it was real. But
Sorry.
You know what? Oh well.
Can't win them all.
Can't win them.
Well, you know what's real? That earthquake thing that's happening tomorrow. That one's real.
That one's real.
The Alexa one?
Yeah, the
Right.
Alexa earthquake.
A fun thing about conspiracy theories, because I love going down a rabbit hole.
Me
it's
too.
fun. Yeah.
Love, yeah.
But
Yeah, who doesn't love it?
oftentimes it can be kind of explained logically, which isn't as fun.
Boo.
Like when there was a solar eclipse, there were high people in the government going on TV saying, hey, if you live in these towns, back up water, back up food. And everybody took these clips and they made these put some dark music over it, and they said, the Lord is coming or whatever. But if you look at it closer, it's because these small towns where you could see the eclipse the most just aren't equipped with extra food and water and hotels. They're really tiny, tiny towns. So this was just somebody telling people, just go get a backup for a few days. That's the conspiracy. It wasn't that the devil is rising up again from the ocean. I wish, with his horns.
Ooh, that
Could still be. Why can't it be both?
I know. Can it be both?
Can it be both?
I agree. Yeah, totally. And there's a lot of times with conspiracy theories, there's a kernel of truth to them, right? That the reason that people latch onto them, because there's one part of it that is accurate,
right?
Which is that supplies might be short in a town, but the reason is not as intense as you might think in that moment. And that kind of stuff leads to consequences. I mean, that's going to be something we're covering quite a bit in our season 4 coming up, how a little tiny conspiracy can really spiral out really fast. And one of the, I don't know, I don't have the person's, I don't even want to say their name anyway, but there was a mother who during the solar eclipse ended up annihilating her family because she thought it was the end.
Damn. Oh, Action Bass, DARDD. Thank you for gifting all these tier 1 subs. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kianon, that's who does it. They love the conspiracies. Also, maybe sometimes people are bored. Maybe sometimes they're just bored and they want to believe that the devil's coming
but
back.
also, has anyone checked on that little town?
Somebody says
no one's checked on the town.
I lived in a
haven't.
zone of
Devil?
totality and it was crazy 24 hours. That's what L'Oreal says. So I guess they just had a lot of visitors to go see.
I don't know, but
Or was it the
Ariel's right.
purge?
We didn't. Did they
We
check
don't know.
Yeah, we haven't checked the town again.
Call the town.
It doesn't exist.
It is. Conspiracy theories are fun. I get it. And also, I think that there's a level of conspiracies a lot of times hit. Any of us have the risk of believing things that aren't true. Different reasons, different things. But I think any one of us could believe a bunch of stuff that doesn't actually exist or doesn't make sense or is not correct. But a lot of times, especially when we got into like QAnon stuff, a lot of those people are struggling in a lot of ways. They are mad about things, and it's a lot easier to think that it's like a cabal instead of like a politician who's just taking your money.
Right.
When he is saying, no, it's these babies are being and people are coming in through the border, and they're the ones, not us, who are literally like taking all of your money from you. It's the other poor people. They're the ones who are the problem here. Mm-hmm. And then they go, yeah, you're right. I hate them. Yuck.
Yeah.
And then they continue to be able to just make money from that, you know?
Yeah. It's easier to hit a group.
Oh, yeah. My mother lives in, like, backwoods Mississippi, and she's like, so tell me about all those drag queens reading to those kids. And I'm like, you live in, like, you're never going to see that. You have to worry about your local politician taking your money because your roads suck and there's, like, nothing going on. Like, no one's coming for your kids here.
Yeah, right. All the drag queens are desperately trying to get into that town.
They're like, get me in Mississippi.
They're knocking on every door.
Right.
It's like when I'm moving here to LA, and people are like, oh my gosh, it's so dangerous there. Like, how are you ever going to survive? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like walking down the street. Seems all right to me.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed out on
It's a city.
Fight. Yeah, it's a city, but but also I go to New York, and then people are like, "Oh my gosh, how are you in New York? People getting punched in the face every day," and I'm like, "I don't know. I've found a way not to get punched in the face."
Somehow you didn't get punched in the face.
I manage.
One time, a guy swung at me in New York, but he
That's
missed.
pretty standard.
I could see you lighting him on fire, Natalie. Like, you should walk around with a can of kerosene.
Just light people on fire. I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah, like, forget the guns and knives and tasers. Like, you know how they give out, like, here's a little spray for you. Like, that's just gonna piss off a perpetrator.
That you have to have locked.
You have to have
locked? Because the spray, the little bear spray has a little red nozzle.
Yeah.
I want to have a hairspray and a lighter and just light it up.
It's kerosene time, ladies.
It's kerosene time.
And then you also have something to do your hair.
Yeah, you got both.
Excuse me.
I think that's important. Let's bring back firearms. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, we don't have enough guns here. I like calling like open fire firearms.
No, we're calling it firearms now.
Yeah, because it's your arms are producing fire.
Yeah. What if we start selling that?
Drone
we
butts.
Start doing it because it's separate. Separately, we're going to have
LPN brand?
lighter. Yeah, LPN brand. Lighters and hairspray, and we won't say that what it's for, but it's for that. It's for lighting people
and then
up.
You wank.
Yeah. And then you wink. Drone Butt says, my dad swore that I wouldn't use his corpse to vote Democratic if he died. I would love to see a weekend at Bernie's where you bring your dad's corpse to the polls and you're like, blah, 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 and then vote.
And no one can tell.
And no one can tell.
He put sunglasses on.
Put sunglasses on, it's fine. Yeah.
I love that. That's a great plot for a movie that I'm going to write tonight.
Yeah.
After this
Weekend at Bernie's 3.
Yeah, so
Back in the habit.
Back in the habit.
That was for me. It's fine.
That was one for you. Okay, now we have to go back to another sad thing.
Okay.
So we have to go back to another side.
I do my best, and I try to talk about lighting people on fire, and
I love it.
Yeah. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
We have talked a lot about Madeline Soto, and I'm just doing a little basic update. Not really an update, but things that I wanted to just mention about the case. This case obviously really sticks in my head, and I think a lot of people who follow the show also follow this case quite heavily. Madeline Soto, who unfortunately was essayed and then killed by her mother's ex-boyfriend, which is a whole sentence in itself.
Yeah.
He had groomed her for years and done all kinds of stuff. It was right after her 13th birthday. They're from Florida, and currently the perpetrator, Stephen Stearns, is in jail. But one of the really unique parts about this specific case is that there's been a bunch of content creators who have pulled it's called the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. The police have released a lot of the interview videos, like the interrogation videos, and a lot of the phone calls from prison, things like that. And it's almost to an extent where it almost feels like because people hate Stephen Stearns so much, including the police, they want everybody to see all of it, because it's really one thing. For one, it's super humiliating. Like, they do a full nude, like, photo shoot of Stefan Stearns, and they released it to the public.
You can do that?
Well, I think if you are somebody that people hate as much as him, that they just decide they will.
So you can see his penis?
Well, I mean, on the content that's been released if you get the FOIA Act footage, you will see his penis. Yeah.
What do you think? Is it like a mudang penis?
It's
just roly-poly and
It's just
moist?
wet. It's just wet and blushing.
I mean, I get if
And
you
blushing, I hate you.
if you see the footage of the rest of him, I can't imagine it's great to look at.
Who's looking this up? You little sick fucks. Give me this camera. You sick fucks looking this up? Why are you looking up this man's peen?
Which camera's yours?
I don't know.
I think that one's yours.
You. Why are you looking up this man's penis? What are you going to gain from that?
Well,
look up more mudang. You sick fuck.
Oh, I thought you were going to look at his penis.
Oh, yeah. I was so scared. I was scared. Oh, God. Okay. There we go. But, yeah, why are we... What? Full nude?
We don't
Censor
laugh at it.
no, I mean, it's censored
but-
on like when it's going up on YouTube and stuff, it's censored, but not if you get it directly from the police. And honestly, fuck him so hard. I don't care. I'm glad he's being humiliated. But it is literally him in a room with a bunch of different police officers pulling his pants down, making him lift his nuts up to take photos of his penis and stuff because, unfortunately, he had 30,000 files of CSAM on his hard drive of this little girl.
What?
30,000 pictures.
Did he like deleted his phone the day before he got caught? And he's like, oh, I just did a factory resetting on my phone. You know how you do. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
But this never goes away.
No. You can't just make that entire crime disappear into the night. So they recovered all of it, and they found this girl had been abused for years and years. It was a nightmare.
But now you get to look at his taint.
Yeah, you can see it if you'd like to. I do like him being humiliated because he didn't give that little girl a chance to have any sort of life. But the issue on top of that, of course, he's the number one villain in that situation. He is never getting out of jail, even though they haven't had trial yet. There's absolutely no way he's getting out.
Yeah, it's like unrefutable proof.
Oh, yeah. Even without, because he's also going to be charged with her murder, and he definitely did it. Even if it was just the content, it is so prolific over so many years, and the stuff that was happening, he would have already gotten a sentence for the rest of his life. So he's done for. He's cooked, and thank God, because he is a light on humanity. Yeah. But the other aspect of that is trying to look at this without mom shaming, without parent shaming, but also looking at it realistically, that these situations, that the reason that these things happen sometimes is because parents go into complete denial, or sometimes they're not even active participants in it, but they decide to just believe, even though they know in the back of their head. Jennifer Soto, that woman knew. She knew that something was really, really wrong. And she went, you know what? It'll just work itself out.
Yeah, she sent her daughter to go sleep with him in bed.
Yeah,
Which again, I don't want to mom shame because that's a
I will shame. I will mom shame that. Please don't ever do
that's
that.
a mom
Were
shame.
they married?
They weren't even in a relationship anymore.
They weren't in a relationship, so she's just letting her daughter sleep with a random man, essentially.
So she could get sleep. Yeah, because they all slept in the same bed together. I forgot to mention that.
Meanwhile, they had a guest room.
Yeah.
She couldn't sleep in for some reason.
Yeah, it is.
And she was 13, the girl?
Yeah.
She had turned 13 the day before that she was killed. It was her 13th birthday.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So there's obviously a myriad of issues here. Most people are not, first off, having their child sleep in bed with them at all.
Yeah.
Being a 12-year-old sleeping, but she didn't have a room. Her mom took the only bedroom that was open and made her sleep in the living room. So she slept with her mom most of the time, but also slept with this other man who just came and went from their lives. And I don't think that is a thing most people do generally. So this is a very extreme situation version of this, but it is just like this case is consuming people in so many ways, myself included, because it's the negligence of it. It's the acceptance of just letting your daughter experience all this stuff for a lot of people think it's because she just wanted a man to be around. A lot of people also think that it's because he helped like take care of the daughter, because she had a huge, she's basically a junkie. She takes prescription pills, but she sleeps like all day, and she wasn't parenting her kid, and so this other person was like helping. But I think a lot of people resonate with this idea of being ignored and having your trauma be ignored by adults, even if they're not doing it. It's like having somebody there just like knowing something's wrong, but just like not helping you as a little kid, and that this little girl is going through all of this. And I think the other side of it too is that we hear all these like nightmare stories about children who get caught in these CSAM cycles where they're repeatedly in content that these creeps are trading. And I and like a lot of us kind of go like, how did this happen to this kid? Like in our minds, a lot of us, I think, go to a place of they were kidnapped and they're held in a basement and like nobody sees them, and they're just in this horrible dungeon somewhere, which does happen. But you look at kids like Madeline, and she went to school. She had friends. She went to Disney World all the time. She was in the world, and this was still happening to her for at least 5 years solid, constant. And that's what this looks like a lot of the time. And so I think it's important to remember that we have to look out for stuff like that, like the red flags of kids can be in this situation, and it's not always going to look like they're, chained up somewhere. Like she was, attending school regularly, even if she wasn't
in her
doing
household.
Yes.
Yeah.
She completely got all of this normalized sleeping with adults in bed, like normalized mom lets them be alone all the time. And I don't think people should necessarily be afraid of their kids being, and that's the other, like, how do you balance that? Because also being terrified of every single person that your kid's around doesn't seem like the right solution. But you do have to watch out for those red flags, because the kids who end up in these situations in content, because unfortunately, what we're going to most likely find out in court is that he was selling this to other pedophiles. So not only was he using it for himself and his own needs, he was also making a bunch of money because he didn't have a job and he was buying a lot of stuff all the time. And I think he was also giving it to the kid's mom. And so another reason why she didn't know it happened, but she was just like
turning the other cheek because she's like, well, I'm getting paid.
Yep.
Yuck.
He's bringing money in. So maybe he has like savings or something, like just rationalizing it in that way. But, looking out for red flags of kids who are suffering in that, who become depressed, who are having panic attacks. Her mom was putting a bunch of medication into her, which I doubt she really needed, but that there were so many adults who failed that little girl, and we just have to really be cognizant and aware of kids if you're seeing these mood changes, there were so many ways she cried out for help, and it's just heartbreaking. And we see these cases over and over again, including there was one that has just recently basically been not solved, but the guy who did it was charged with murder. This little girl named Naziah Harris. If you want to pop over to my screen, I don't know where the picture of her went. Hang on. There she is. She was groomed by a family friend, and she thought she was in a relationship with him.
Oh, no.
And so, and a lot of people think that about Madeline, too, that she thought maybe that her and Stefan were, like, in a relationship. I'm trying to find the fucking creepazoid who did this to her. But he was a family friend, and he had gotten her pregnant, and he tried to cover it up, like the coward that he is, for sure. And
how old was she again?
This little girl was 13, I believe.
And the guy was 41.
Yeah, his name's Jarvis Butts, which is like the most fitting person to ever have a Butts last name.
And he's in jail, right?
He's cooked. He's gone. Like, he's done for. He's in jail. But it's too late because he did this, and I'm not blaming her family by any stretch. I know a lot of guys and women do this too, are really good at grooming families too. But sometimes there are lost my screen. Sometimes there are really, really clear red flags that people just like. It's so hard to deal with this concept that somebody you know is doing something this fucked up.
Right.
And
even like your own family members, it's hard to sometimes be like, oh, my cousin's a bad person. Because just because they're blood doesn't mean they're good. Somebody says in the chat, as a mandatory reporter, teacher, it sickens me when I hear this thing. There was a girl at school I was an aide at 2 years ago. She was smart and pretty with her older boyfriend. She went missing and has never been found. 16 years old.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry to hear that. That's
terrible.
Fucking terrible. And that, and we have these mandatory reporters, and again, it's so easy to point fingers from the outside about who failed who or whatever, but even when people do report, it's still sometimes like really hairy, because when you get CPS involved, when you get these different organizations, there's a lot of issues inside of those, which we talk about. But ultimately, it's like, I think the best thing we can do as like people, villages around kids and people who want to make sure the next generation is like looked for and cared for, is just to pay attention to science and not necessarily think everybody is, it's so scary, because then you're just like, who the fuck are any of you? Huh?
Right. It's got to be like a weird game as a parent, because you want to protect them, but it's also like you want them to see the world. So when they're like 21 out in the world,
they're not just like, I don't know how to
navigate anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like the other side of the coin of like the very conservative, like evangelical families who are like, we can't let them know anything about the outside world, and then they're not equipped for life. And sometimes in the house, there's already shit going on.
Right.
But, my computer crashed. It's fine. Don't worry.
It's cool.
Guys, we didn't need to have anything to reference. It's fine.
Well, we were talking about like family members and people just being in denial in general. Around where I live currently, I live in New Jersey. There was a kindergartner. It was a young girl. She was acting weird. The signs were there. And the parents asked her, like, what's been going on? And she said someone had been touching her. So they blamed a student. So it was a year-long case, like, trying to prove that the student did it. Kindergartners, though. So people thought that was fishy, but whatever. They're blaming the student. It ends up being the uncle. And it just came out that it was the uncle. But it's like the big denial of, like, we don't want to believe it's family. It's got to be someone else. I got to point my finger at somebody else, because it can't possibly be someone that's in my house that I allowed in my home.
Yeah. That's so, it's so hard, and I get why that feels impossible, but you have to not be, you can't let it happen just because you feel ashamed.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like it's the idea of wanting to hide family issues for pride or whatever.
To show face.
Yeah. It's just like,
because it would tarnish the family name.
Even if that's your like end goal, don't you know eventually it's gonna happen, it's gonna come out, and you're going to look like a
even
piece
worse.
of shit, like your
You were
family
hiding
name.
it. Yes.
Like, I don't know. I guess some people just don't want to. They want to live in denial in that way, I guess. But when it damages like the most vulnerable of our society, of our species, whatever the fuck you want to call it. How do you live with your? I don't know. How
do you live with
I'm like,
yourself?
I just feel like I'm being very broad right now, but
true.
I don't know.
You want to protect some random man instead of the kid that's crying out to you?
Right.
I don't know.
Or a lady. I mean, it's mostly.
Oh, yeah.
But there's some
there's
older
some
female perpetrators.
Right.
Somebody says, I'm a mandated reporter, and oftentimes I make a report, but it's not accepted and investigated by the DCFS, because in part I work in such a wealthy area. Ooh. And somebody says they work in a very low income area and says it's the same thing. The mentality is snitches get stitches. So I guess it's just everywhere.
Yeah, different issues, different places. But certainly people with money get away with a lot more. That's for absolute certain. Sometimes, like, that's what some of the major issues with CPS involve. Like, social workers they have really, really, really hard jobs, and people who work in that field get a lot of shit. And I understand there's not always, some of them are not necessarily great people, but there's a lot of really caring, good people in there that have very few resources. And we've talked about it on the show before. It seems like there just needs to be kind of like an overhaul of the whole system, because it doesn't necessarily always work. But like people who are in poverty, who and this is also coming from like people who foster and follow these things have said this, that a lot of people who end up in foster care in the CPS system are through what's called neglect, which a lot of times is just like not having enough money. And so if you could just be like, instead of getting like assistance that would help your family, they just like take the kids away, which is not great for anybody. But then on the other hand, if you are doing something really bad to your kids but you have money, like look at the Frankies, which is like a Mormon family. I don't know, do you follow mommy vlogging at all?
No.
Because I know you just started watching Mormon Wives.
I finished the Mormon Wives, baby. And so I've seen them be just like a mess on that show, but I don't know what are they doing that's diabolical.
Oh, if you're starting to get down the road of Mormon lore, let me tell you. There's a family vlogger family who they were called 8 Passengers. They are no longer a channel because the mother is currently in prison for child abuse. But basically, this woman named Ruby, she started going down this really weird path that was like part Mormonism, part, I don't know, she was working with this crazy woman named Jody Hildebrand, and they were coming together to like discipline her children. And
like on camera?
Some of it, but not all of it. So people a long time before the arrests happened were picking up on these really weird things that were happening in the house, because of course family vloggers give their children zero privacy.
Right.
So they're seeing all of these really bizarre, invasive, like boundary breaking things, and like these punishments that didn't seem very safe.
Like the son sleeping on a beanbag chair in the living room.
Even though they were extremely wealthy from family vlogging, they were millionaires. The son was like not allowed to have a bed for like being mean to his other kid. That's like the least of it too. Like there's really messed up stuff. But because of that, she was publicly announcing child abuse, right? Like on her channel. CPS was called and police were called a bunch of times to her house. But because they are this like perfect little like rich white Mormon family, every time they would come, they would just be like, it's so silly. We're just on the internet. You're like, don't even. And eventually they stopped checking. And this whole time, the kids were being starved, bound up, like all of this shit. And the way that the case finally was cracked is that one of the sons escaped.
Oh my God.
Emaciated to a neighbor. And that was the way that they got help. And so CPS and all of these like government people had gone to their house, but because they looked a certain way, they were like,
it's fine.
It's fine. And her house went on
sale. Their house is nice.
There's like a basement of horrors in the house because the house went on sale, so you can check it on Zillow.
Jody Hildebrandt's, Jody Hildebrandt's house where the kids were eventually being held.
How many kids?
There was 6. There were 6, but 2 of them, as in many families with a lot of kids, 1 or 2 end up being the sort of scapegoat kids. They're the bad one. They're the one who's always causing trouble, but they're not.
Oh, Final Angie 13. Is this the woman who was laughing about her kids not being sad enough as punishment? Yes. So she punished her children. I think they were like 4 and 5 at the time.
That actually, you'd have to actually go further into detail because that could actually be a couple different family vloggers.
Right. But they weren't sad enough about the punishment, so she made them like do physical hard labor outside in Utah heat in the summer.
Yeah, I mean she was torturing. One of the kids she was throwing into a cactus over and over again. Yeah. And this was
just for like TikTok entertainment?
No, this was off camera. The really violent stuff they were doing off camera, but then when the kids are on camera, they're like, "I love you, mommy," because
they're scared for their lives.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you go and look at her older videos, she's like this, well, we're all going to get dressed today, and I guess little gay baby girl didn't get dressed fast enough, so you're going to have to mop the floors. It's like a Disney villain.
It is.
It's a Disney villain.
And which is why people were reporting her, and it was all ignored. Like the woman, Jody Hildebrandt's house, so the mom's friend who was helping her punish her kids, they found eventually after the little boy saved all of his siblings. she had a room that was in her basement that was a safe. So literally only locked from the outside, like a big safe door. And that's where the kids stayed.
Oh my God.
No windows.
No air, ventilation, nothing.
They could have died down there.
I mean, they were on the verge. That the reason that kid finally found the courage is because I think he thought he was going to die or his sister was going to die.
My question, I guess, is if she's continuing to do these, well, it was at the time doing these TikTok videos, did she not include the emaciated kid in the videos?
No, after a while. So when the punishment started to get really bad, she said, I'm going to stop filming my children, and like wanted to be like applauded for it. But what she did instead, she took her family channel. You guys who already know all this story, I know you like hearing it still. So she took her family channel and this therapist woman, Jody, and her created a new thing with the people who were already on her channel. She flipped it, and it was a therapy channel called Connections. And so what was a family channel became these two lunatics talking about how to make your family the right way and all this stuff. And it was all about like living in truth was what they called it, living in truth. And all of it was actually insanity. It was
just like two unhinged, delulu.
Unhinged. And they're in the basement and it's like all white and beautiful and like flowers, but it's like this made up set. And literally behind them is one of the rooms with the kids just starving behind them.
While they were doing the therapy videos, the like safe where the kids were being held locked behind doors was right behind them. You just didn't know.
I feel like that will use therapy. They'll use religion.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yes.
It seems like it's out of like Lords of Salem movie or like The Hills Have Eyes. Like who's Rob Zombie? That's like a Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of. Yeah. So you can go ahead and go down that rabbit hole afterwards.
I hope those kids are okay.
I mean, not to laugh. They are okay. Obviously, they are being extremely private. But the oldest daughter, whose name is Sherry, she's an adult now. She's spoken out at length. She actually had been trying again, oldest kid, trying to save her siblings by going through CPS and police, and nobody would listen to her. She was like, she had gotten away and she was trying to stop her mom from doing this stuff and they wouldn't stop. They wouldn't help her. So she's been very vocal about it, and the kids are okay. They're just obviously in therapy and being treatment and stuff. But they're not being public.
It's so crazy because you know that if the oldest daughter came and took all the kids away, then she'd get arrested for kidnapping.
Yep.
So, like, what can you do?
Wait till you see our Child Brides episodes.
Oh, God.
See about that one.
No.
Because that's because she's young enough, she's old enough. Like, she could be, there's several states in America, California including one of them. Where
we're doing Spun Greatest Hits today.
There's no minimum age to marry. So you could essentially, if you found the right judge, the right one, you could marry off a 2-year-old to a 50-year-old if you want.
In California,
you can. And she's too young to run away because it's considered a runaway. She's too young to be taken because now you're kidnapping her. So she has to stay in this marriage.
Yeah, so essentially, if you end up, does this still happen?
I know, I'm sorry.
My brain.
I'm sorry, but in 41 states, child marriage is still legal in this country today. And if the spouse, who's the underage one, which typically is a girl, but there are like 8% of those, I think, I forget what.
It's a pretty, like 5 to 8%, yeah.
is boys, minor boys. But it's usually girls, and, I'm sorry, I should say 8% of minor boys to adult women.
Yeah.
Because there are some that are both minors, which is also a whole problem, but like a lot of them are minor girls to adult men. And if that marriage happens, which is usually with parental consent, which is a whole thing, they legally can't divorce their spouse until they're 18. So they are then now in the custody of their husband. They are allowed to be married. The SA doesn't count anymore. Like if statutory is no longer an issue. So if you would have become a sex offender, for example, if you started having sex with a 15-year-old and you're 30, if you marry that child, it's legal. And then that child cannot legally go anywhere until she's 18.
Made by Lauren B says, you're hitting all the stories that make me talking to people at parties impossible. Yeah.
I'm the guy at the party that's like, what is happening?
Right. Oh, we got some subs, and we also got a silly video to end it, though.
We do. I'm sorry, guys.
thank
And
goodness.
this was you got a lot of the worst of our content. Just
Give me
now.
more Mudang.
Yeah, well,
or JD Vance yassified. hurry.
We got a silly video.
Okay, good.
Oh, here we go.
And also this. Thank God. I never thought I'd be so happy to see his face.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Is it The Sims?
Was that a fart? Let that one slip out and you didn't it.
Oh my
This
god,
is
yes,
scary.
I'm so sorry.
Oh babe, don't even worry about it.
Ew,
We're all
what is it? What am I
human. It
looking
happens.
at?
Ooh.
What
it must
is-
have been
what
that
is going
burrito I
on?
had last week. That damn burrito.
Is there sound that I can potentially? Yeah.
I knew I should have had that broccoli.
I like that I want you to guess what they're saying.
Okay. Oh
I should not
boy.
have it's your ass.
There's the hot man in my living
It's not the
room.
broccoli. It's not the burrito.
I'm not
it's your
hot.
fucking
My hair
ass.
looks like it's on fire.
Right?
Oh.
Way too damn
okay.
comfortable, man. Shit.
I like yours much better.
I'm scared.
It's a lot of farts.
My
Oh, it's
throat is
fart
closing
noises?
up.
Yeah.
I can't breathe.
Imagine
Amber,
having,
what did you find?
Chill.
imagine having all this
Yeah, you're too damn
talent
comfortable.
to make
You
beautiful
gotta fucking
artwork
chill.
like this, and you waste it
You're
on
gonna kill
whatever
me,
this
yo.
is.
Chill.
Or this is just AI. Did AI do this?
Baby, what
Should I
the
blame
fuck?
Alexa?
Oh, this is Alexa. Let's blame Alexa for this.
This is Alexa.
Alexa, you bitch. Yeah.
Dang.
There goes my baby.
That's right. We also got some gifted subs tonight. Do you want
Thank
to
goodness.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for the gifted subs. Gar43 and Action Bastard gifted 5 subs. Thank you so much. We have no dogs tonight, so we have to leave a little bit early so that they can set up for a very differently toned stream.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to talk about crime.
They might also talk about what we talked about. Maybe they're going to piggyback off of.
Are they going to copy me?
Maybe. If they watch.
I'm so
Are you
sick
guys
of no
watching?
dogs doing that.
Well, it's music, so I'm sure they could find some problematic musicians.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
I think there's
A
at least
few.
one or two.
One or two.
One
yeah.
or two of them. Thank you for being with. So fun. Come back another time. Let's keep talking about Fraudster.
Let's do it. Yeah. Let's keep. I don't want to hear more about
No.
this, but I also do. I feel like I need to know what's happening outside. I've been shielding myself with the mooding of it all, but now I need to know.
I want to just hide behind Mudang as she gets older.
Yeah.
Keep getting bigger.
Well,
More
now that
people
we've
can
talked
hide.
about her, she's going to just show up on your feed, so you'll be all right.
What is she? Is she okay? I thought you meant because she's going to commit a crime.
Oh, yeah, that too. She's going to eat you. And she's going to be doing crime. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, sweet. Okay, follow Fraudsters. Do you have a handle?
We are at Fraudsters LPN, and then I'm Ariel Yeti at Ariel Yeti.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey guys, enjoy No Dogs.
See you.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.
When life brings the blah, add more Yabba Dabba Doo with some tasty Fruity Pebbles. Early morning meeting? Blah. Someone brought the pebbles. Yabba Dabba Doo. Run errands? Blah. Head to the store for pebbles. Yabba Dabba Doo. Fruity Pebbles. Less blah. More Yabba Dabba Doo. Pick up Pebbles cereal today. Yabba Dabba Doo and the Flintstones and all related characters and elements. Copyright and trademark Hanna-Barbera.
Hey everybody, Conan O'Brien here with an ad about my podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I've had so many fantastic conversations with people I truly admire, people like Michelle Obama, Bruce Springsteen, Maya Rudolph, Tom Hanks. New episodes are out every Monday, and we have a really good time, so subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts.